So, I want to talk about Alita Battle Angel. I really think it's a culmination of what's been happening over the past few years, which is something incredible in cinema. So, you've got Alita Battle Angel and Sorry to Bother You coming out within a few months of each other. I only watched Sorry to Bother You recently, and I just watched Alita yesterday, and the two fit together really well. It's almost like cinema against capitalism is becoming a thing, and it's feeling as though movies are doing something now that they haven't done for a long time. They're criticizing the dominant ideology, criticizing the way the societies that they're intended for think. It's something that movies haven't done since the 90s. Think of The Matrix and those types of films, right? And it's kind of intense. And I'm really glad that it's happening because it's something that we stopped expecting and we're starting to get it again, and I think it's inspiring. I think the superhero era is sort of not just slowing down but metamorphosizing into something else. And while that's happening, right, what you're starting to get is films that are a bit more mature, films that are a bit more serious in the subject matter that they deal with. Because you can have a film that's quite funny, but that deals with good, serious subject matter. I think a good example of this is Get Out. Get Out is an incredible film tackling racism in America specifically, which is the society it's intended for. But look at how it's tongue in cheek, almost making fun of racism and racists at the same time. And it just feels like films like this were not possible in 2005 when all you could see was My Super Ex-Girlfriend and that type of thing. It really seems as though we've turned a corner and we're going to start getting more and more of these more critical films that challenge us to think about the ways we think about things socially. And I like that. I think it's really exciting. I think Alita Battle Angel was a really great film. As someone who enjoyed the anime, I never read the manga, I'm not about mangas, that's not my life, but anime, I got into that anime and the themes hit harder and stronger now as an adult. I think that the how close films like Sorry to Bother You and Alita Battle Angel are to real life is what makes them really strong, right? Especially Alita Battle Angel as a science fiction, because that's exactly how we live. We live essentially off of runoff from the 1%. And it was great to see a film that sort of literalizes that reality in a more visceral way. And it obviously goes back to the original narrative utopias, right? But like that sort of setting is like the abstract of it. The realness of it is just like this character who is realizing that they have more power than they thought they did and that they can do something with that power. Basically realizing, I can do something, I matter, and then what do you do at that point? Right? Which I think is something that people go through as everyone goes through that as they grow up. You realize that, hey, maybe I can actually do something. Maybe I can help solve the problems in the world around me. And she's going through that process of growing up, and it's sort of like, I think if the sequels continue this way, she'd then reach a point where you feel unable to change things, which is what happens as you start getting older. You try and change things, then it doesn't work, then you're like, oh, so I can't? Well, that's whack. And then you get sad. But like, it worked really well. And Sorry to Bother You is just like a beautiful, strange, weird film with everything right about it, right? I saw someone speaking about it in the context of the psychological toll of modern capitalism, but for me, it's just like emotional realism or societal realism. Again, it literalizes and visualizes the realities of living under a capitalist system. I thought the horse people were a reference to real world slavery and the way that that happened. I thought that the way that the companies were operating was literally designed around the way companies are operating in real life. And it's incredible. People will do anything to not be unemployed, right? We're here in South Africa, unemployment is like 27%, and people will do anything to not be unemployed, even signing on to lifelong contracts where they could be abused and risk being turned into horse people. Like, that's not even like that's not something that's really happened as far as we know, but it's something that could really happen the way things are right now. And for a movie to say that, like, hey, the way you guys are thinking could lead to this, for a movie to put that on screen so beautifully with the story of a character who realizes that he can't want something for himself and to change the world at the same time. He has to pick what he's gonna get. And so he basically has to decide whether he's going to commit to the values that he has or the life that he pictures himself living, which is something that, again, all of us have to do as we grow up in this capitalist society. We have to decide, am I just going to try and make money, or do I stand for something? Do I care about something? These two films are incredible. I love how films are starting to deal with society, and I just wanted to make a video about it. I'm going to start doing these. They're cool. Ah! Bye!